Hi everyone, Rob McCreary with SONAX. Get a special guest this week, Jason from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum. Most of you, I think, are probably expecting Jason Whiteley, and for whatever reason he decided to take a vacation. I don't know why and who approved that, but off he went, so here we have it. Last week I know that he had mentioned something about doing some interior work with 3 products, but we had a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity kind of come in and land on our lap, so we're changing this week's Facebook Live. So welcome to one of the garages here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and we have Jason, as I mentioned, from Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum, and he takes care of a lot of these cars here that are at the museum. So you want to tell a little bit about this beauty and the plans for it?
Yeah, the car is a 1928 Isotta Fraschini Tipo 8A. It's a 7.3 liter straight 8 engine. Isotta Fraschini is out of Italy, out of Milan. But this body, it's a town car body with a salt-kiss French coach builder. So it's an Italian chassis, Italian engine with a French body on it.
So it's a car that is actually getting ready to go to Pebble Beach, and it has a very old restoration on it. So it's, for the most part, mostly original. It has a lot of, very similar to me, it has a lot of old parts. So a lot of old paint, a lot of old rubber, a lot of old leather. Again, kind of like me, it has a lot of old parts. And what we're going to do today is talk a little bit about how we brought the shine and how we brought some life back to this beautiful car. And Jason did 99% of this, and I think Leanne and I kind of were the assistants for the most part. And it's an enormous car, first of all. So there's a lot of everything on it. A lot of paint, a lot of chrome, a lot of rubber, a lot of wood. I mean, just a lot of everything on here. So we'll talk a little bit. We didn't use a lot of different products, but what we did use SONAX-wise all worked very well, and I think, Jason, you can confirm that they all did what they're supposed to do. So what we're going to do here is kind of just walk around the car. I'll walk around the car, and Jason can talk about the products that he used and you know, the effectiveness on what he found using each individual product.
Yeah, the paint on this was pretty rough. It's an older restoration. It was driven in its previous ownership. So you had a lot of road rash, a lot of scratching from everyday, you know, dusting off, a lot of swirl marks in it. It's black, so it shows all that pretty easily. So we didn't want to go too aggressive to save the paint on it, but we wanted to bring a shine out. So one of the first things we did was, obviously, we cleaned the car. Instead of using water, we used the glass cleaner. It has a little bit of an alcohol in it to help remove the contaminants. We also used the clay disc with the hand option, not on the DA, just to get the fallout, the contaminants off the paint, besides the dirt and dust that was on the paint. So once the paint was completely clean, we dried it off, and we started to actually buff out the car. Like I said,
we were amazed just by the simple wipe of the glass cleaner and the clay disc, how much better it brought back the paint by itself. So yeah, that was somewhat amazing to me just by itself.
Yeah, so we started with the top of the hood and the cowl there, the flatter parts of the car, to see what we had to do. We decided to use the green SONAX pad, the medium cut, with the Cut Max product. So that got rid of a lot of the scratches, but speed-wise on the buffer wasn't that high speed because we wanted to protect the paint. After that, we two-stepped this. So Cut Max with the green pad was the first step, and then we followed up with the EX0406 compound with the gray hologram-free softer pad from SONAX. So we went panel by panel with those 2 products. Once we got the paint cleaned and compounded, then we put a final white coat of the Carnauba paste wax, and that really brought out the black in this paint.
One of the we were amazed by like we talked about how much chrome was actually on this, and some of it is nickel and some of it is it's a lot of different metals that are on this vehicle. The one product I think that we used probably more than any was the chrome and aluminum paste, and it was amazing how quickly it brought back a lot of the life of some of the metals that are on this. So you have anything to add on that product?
The bi-spoke bumpers are probably one of the best examples. They were very, very oxidized, but with hardly any hard work to it. That aluminum base really brought the shine back out with rubbing down the bumpers there.
Of course, Rob and I now have the biceps of Hulk Hogan after using all that chrome and aluminum paste, but it was worth it. This car is a beauty. So what'd you do next?
Then we moved to the interior and also the exterior too. The top of the passenger quarters is a leather, kind of like a vinyl top, but it's a little bit more leather than vinyl. So we use the leather conditioner and cleaner foam to bring out the luster and the shine and take out some of that dirt that was embedded in the grains of the leather. And that's one of the, besides the paint, this top really came out.
It's amazing compared to what it looked like to start with.
One of the things that Jason was very adamant about, he didn't want it to be anything to be overly shiny except for the paint and the chrome, obviously, but you know, the leather and things like that, he wanted it to be as realistic from the time, 1928 era as possible. So I think the top came out beautiful. It literally looks almost brand new. Mm-hmm. And then also the rubber on the tires, he wanted to make sure that they were a new car look and not necessarily a lot of shine to that. So with that, we kind of used, for those of you that are familiar with it, the tire gloss gel, and that can be used in a variety of different ways. You can be used, in this case, what we did is we put it on, and this is very, very old rubber, so it literally just drank it up, and it serves as a conditioner for rubber. It won't brown the tires as some products out there do. As you can see, they look like they would in the 20s or 30s or 40s, or whenever this car was rolling down the road.
Can we take a look inside real quick, Jason?
Yeah, so one of the cool things about the town car feature is it is a semi-limo, so the driver would be in the front, but the passenger who purchased the car would sit back here in luxury. So you have a divider from the driver with the window that cranks up and down, that the passenger doesn't have to listen to the driver talk to him, that we find in limos today. All the window treatments is pretty cool. This right here is your door handle, so you can get out. But to crank and lower and raise the window, it's kind of a two-step process. So you hold this lever up, it's all gear driven, and you just crank down by turning this handle right here. And then you can set it wherever you want.
Very cool. So on the entire car, on all the glass, we also used our glass cleaner, which did an awesome job, streak-free, even on these old windows. I'm going to just do a quick walk around to the other side of the car, and then we'll finish back up where we started. Jason, I wanted you to point out the luggage rack. I mean, the paint back here really, really came out just like a glass coating on this. It's awesome looking.
Yeah, so one of the kind of lingo that we use today in cars is the trunk, and it's all incorporated in the bodywork. Back in these days, there was no incorporated trunk. It was literally a luggage trunk that sat on the back of the car. So these arms right here would hold a big trunk. They would sit back. If you did not need the trunk, say you weren't going on a far drive, you didn't need to bring any luggage, they could be positioned in so you had more of a streamlined body.
Very cool. Very cool.
Jason, this is one of the marks that are going to be highlighted at Pebble Beach.
Yeah, this is Isotta Fraschini will be the celebrated mark at Pebble Beach middle of next month in California. Another neat thing about the Coupe de Ville or town car body style is you notice it's open here for the driver. In case there was weather, it started raining, the driver didn't get soaked. In this compartment right here is the roof mechanism that comes out and covers the driver, so it can be positioned with the full roof or with the town car opening that you see here.
That is pretty cool.
Another really cool little aspect of this car is all of the door locks are covered. Kind of make it more of a little streamlined and, you know, not so glaring door lock. So just a cool little aspect. There are a lot of small little pieces of this car that are just something you just don't see in today's world.
Yeah, and back in 1928, the car was not cheap. It was priced higher than the Duesenberg, so it chassis-wise was probably around $95,000 to $10,000 just for the engine and the chassis and the drivetrain. The coach building, on the other hand, you would get the body made from a coach builder of your choice. The person that bought this originally went to Paris to do that, and you could run another $3,000 to $4,000 to $5,000 on average in coach building. So you had close to a $15,000 car in the times where a Model T was, or Model A was probably around $700, $800.
And what would you estimate a car like this would go for today?
Somewhere probably $300,000.
There was one that sold something similar to this, just sold for $1.3 million at Barrett Jackson a few weeks back. So a beautiful car. We were thrilled for the opportunity to help Jason give our support in any way that we can, and it literally turned out beautiful. So we certainly appreciate the opportunity, Jason, and
well, thank you.
I think we're going to have another opportunity here in the next week or two or three, and we're hoping that we may have a special guest to be able to tell a little bit about that story, about that individual car. So we're looking forward to helping bring another, what is it, a 49, I guess, a 1949. Yeah. So more to follow, and like I said, we're hoping that we can have a special guest to help tell that story. So Jason, certainly appreciate it. For those of you that are heading to Pebble, check it out. It's a beautiful car, and we look forward to seeing it out in California. So next week we'll see you, and Jason will be back next week, and more to come. Thanks everyone. Have a great weekend.